Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara Robertson from Lacta Learning, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Nancy Moorbacher. Hello, Nancy.
Hey, Barbara, good to see you.
Nice to see you. Well, today we're going to be talking about, we offer two courses, our 95-hour CCLS course and our 50-hour LCE course. And sometimes people are confused about which course might
Right.
be right for them.
Right. These courses are designed primarily for people who want to begin practicing as a lactation consultant.
Exactly. Before we get to that, though, Nancy, tell me a little bit about your background. Why us?
All right.
Why would you choose us?
Okay. Well, I started actually in peer support. That was back in 1982 was when I started working with lactating families. I became a lactation consultant in 1991 and started a private practice in Chicago for 10 years. After that, I worked for a breast pump company where I did professional trainings around the world. After that, I worked for a corporate lactation program. And then I got hired by hospitals here in the Chicago area to help them improve their breastfeeding practices. So I've
So,
done a lot of different things.
wide
Mhm.
variety of
Yeah.
settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a peer supporter and then became an IBCLC. I've worked quite a bit with WIC here in Michigan and the surrounding areas. So
Mhm.
some of that public health experience. And yeah, we just both really love lactation.
Yeah. Except you have one difference is that
Yeah,
you have a master's in curriculum development,
yeah.
which gives you insights into what's most effective for adult learners, which is something I really appreciate about you.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about how to help people change their practices. And
Improve, yes,
yeah,
and
improve. Nancy and
update.
I are committed to offering accurate research-based evidence and
Right.
also, though, the heart as well, which
Right.
is, the social emotional piece and the communication piece.
Right. And I'm the author of Breastfeeding Answers, second edition, which is a research-based textbook that many of the course providers actually use.
Hmm.
And I had to review more than 4,000 studies for that. So I have a really strong research base.
Yeah. And so yeah, we got together. We did a book group together. Then we liked that so much, we formed
Mhm.
our business Lacta Learning,
Mhm.
and we had created our 95-hour course first. And
Mhm.
then so let's talk about the 95-hour versus the 50-hour, because I
Okay.
think people don't know always like what should they take. And so
Right.
this is our Lacta Learning site.
Mhm.
And if you go to our courses, you can see 95-hour lactation consultant training and 50-hour lactation
Right.
consultant training. So what are some of the differences here, Nancy, besides obviously 40 hours, 45 hours?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a 45-hour difference between
Hmm.
those two courses, but they have a lot in common.
Yes.
What one of our students in the book group suggested that we structure our courses by the what's called the detailed content outline. That's a document that was put out by the International Board of Lactation Consultant Examiners, the group that does the exam. They prepare the exam and give the exam to become a lactation consultant, to become an IBCLC. So we both of these courses are structured. So maybe you want to go into the 95-hour course so we can see what that means exactly. Maybe take a look at the detailed content outline.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I
That's
was thinking
okay.
about something
So
else.
this is our online platform. It's called Thinkific.
Hmm.
And so with this detailed content outline, essentially what it is it's you've got seven major topic areas, and underneath each one there's many other subtopics. So altogether there's 116 different topics in this outline divided into seven major topic areas. So when we created the 95-hour course, we covered all of them.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really sets us apart from other course providers is we are not all lectures.
Hmm.
That's something that you know from your training, in education, that isn't all lecture isn't the way that adults learn best.
Yeah.
And so what we've done with each of these lessons, if you want to go into one of the lessons, is
Well,
that
I just wanted to point out, so we see that we have section one, A, infant, and then one is feeding behaviors by different ages. And here
right.
it is exactly. So again, we just go through this exactly.
Right. So for this particular lesson that covers that one point, we have pages from breastfeeding answers. So for each of our courses that's 50 hours or more, so this would be both the 95 and the 50-hour course,
Mhm.
the PDF edition of breastfeeding answers comes with the course. So it's not an extra expense for you.
Great.
And so there's readings there. There's links to short videos. Some lessons have podcasts, uh, study guides. There's all kinds of different things, articles, blog posts. So, there's a wide variety of learning modalities there. So we know that adult learners don't always want to learn exactly the same way. Having the variety is really excellent. And plus, many of these are resources that you'll use even in practice. So this is how we created the 95-hour course. Now, to create the 50-hour course, we basically took the 95-hour course and we took out 45 hours. Now, how did we decide which of the hours to take out? Well, we wanted to leave in those areas that are going to be most useful in clinical practice.
Mhm.
So the parts that maybe are more of the intellectual understanding, something that maybe wouldn't be useful in everyday practice,
Right.
we moved to another course that we
Mhm.
don't have on the website, but we can give you access to if you need it, and that's what's called the 45-hour completion course. So the 50 hour is called our foundation course, and then, for example, you need 95 hours.
Mhm.
That's a requirement to sit for the IBCLC exam.
Right.
So if that's your goal, then obviously the 95-hour course might be your choice. But let's say you've already had a 45-hour course from someone else. Maybe you only need 50 hours. So I would definitely take the foundation course. But if you take our foundation course, get the LCE credential, the
Right.
certification, lactation certification, and then decide later on you
Mhm.
want to sit for the board exam and you need the other 45 hours, then we can hook you up with the completion course so that
Exactly.
you will get all of those lessons, that relate to those topic areas that you didn't get in the foundation 50-hour course.
Exactly. So we focused on wanting to make sure that in the 50-hour course, you
Mhm.
have all those clinical skills and
Mhm.
communication skills
Right,
because we have
right.
a lot of doulas, maybe
Mhm.
nurses, maybe
Mhm.
public health workers who
Right,
don't necessarily need to become an IBCLC to
right,
best support their clients. And
right,
so some are like a 50-hour course will be perfect for me. Some
right,
think I want more, I want
right,
95 hours, but I'm still not going to become an IBCLC
right,
necessarily. And
right,
so we don't think everybody has to be an IBCLC. We want to
right.
make sure we can support all levels of support for lactating families.
Right. So if you complete either of the 50 or the 95-hour course, you do receive a lactation certification. With the
Exactly.
95-hour course, it's the CCLS.
Yep.
If for the 50-hour course, it's the LCE. So you can add those initials after your name.
And yeah, let's just take a little bit. So we have scope of practice, we have the
Mhm,
certification requirements here,
mhm,
but let's take a look at the scope of practice.
mhm,
And basically, this was originally the LCE was developed for WIC,
mhm,
for they have a staff level 3 training. And
mhm,
so what we discovered is, oh, well, those are the clinical skills
mhm. Right,
that most
right,
people need. So we have a lot of the basic clinical skills here. And then you can see we also have the 95-hour course, the CCLS. It includes everything in the LCE plus these more ongoing, more challenging situations.
right, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
The
trying to
basics.
help people make it clear for folks, you know, that this is your scope. I think it's really important that we stay in our
Yes,
scope of practice
100%.
and paying attention to those things.
Mhm,
So yeah, again, Nancy, back to the question of, well, 95-hour versus 50. We
mhm.
talked about, well, if you want to apply for the IBCLC exam, the 95-hour just makes sense because you get
Right,
everything in one place.
right,
If you are working again as a doula, nurse, something, maybe you're like, well, I really want a comprehensive. I want to really all of the 116 items on the detailed
Right.
content outline that IBLCE thinks we should know about lactation. I want them all.
Right.
And, you know, you can say to people, I took a 95-hour lactation course,
Right.
and that's impressive.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, maybe you're like, no, I'm not sure I need all that, especially things about some advocacy and some of those other, as you,
Uh-huh.
less clinical skills. Then the
Legal
50
areas.
hour,
Yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
the 50 hour might be perfect for you. And as Nancy said, you know, we do explain down here, if you love this and you're like, I want to do more, just email me and we can put you in touch with the completion course if you want to
Right.
finish those 95-hour courses.
Right.
All right, well, so thanks for paying attention and listening to this video today.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully this helps.
yeah, hopefully it helps. We know all those initials, we call it alphabet soup time sometimes because it can become really confusing.
Yeah.
As we also offer a meeting about how to become a lactation consultant every month, and that
Hmm.
we can find on our website, or you can just reach out Barbara at lactalearning.com for
Yeah.
information about that because we know it is confusing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you want a 50? Do you want a 95-hour course? Do you want to become an IBCLC?
Yeah. Yeah. And we also have in our resources section a glossary of terms. So
Mhm.
if all these initials that we throw around are really confusing, you can go into our glossary of terms and everything will be defined because
Exactly.
we are so familiar with all of it. Sometimes we do not necessarily define everything that we mean.
Yeah.
So it's all in there, hopefully to make life easier for you.
Right. We're trying to hopefully provide clarity for some of this confusion.
Mhm.
Well, thanks again for attending, and we will, if you have questions, reach out to the Lecta Learning website, or you can email Nancy at Lecta Learning or Barbara at Lecta Learning, and we'll be
Mhm.
happy to help you.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.